Welcome to Physics with Technology. This video should be shown on Friday, March 23rd. Make sure that you have your blue notes packet out as well as your lab books because we will be using both today. We're going to start by taking a quiz. So, in the quiz section of your lab books, please title this quiz the Force Quiz, and then answer all the questions on the following slides. If you are the sub, please pause the video now to give students time to answer these questions, and when they are ready, resume the video. Here are some more questions for today's quiz. You're going to calculate the net force in both the x dimension and the y dimension, and say which direction the object will accelerate. So please pause the video while the students have time to work on this, and when they are ready, resume. These are the last quiz questions. The students just need to fill in the blanks. So please pause the video while they have time to work on this, and when they are ready, resume. Students, it's time to grade the quiz. Please trade your lab books with other students at your table. You should not be grading your own lab because it's too tempting to give yourself extra points. The first 5 questions are worth half a point for the word and half a point for the abbreviation. Please pause the video now so students have time to do this. Here are the answers to questions 6 and 7. Each of these questions is worth 3 points each. They get a point for the x dimension, a point for the y dimension, and a point for the acceleration direction. Please pause the video while students work on this. And here are the last answers to the quiz. When the students have finished grading, they need to write the final score at the top of the quiz. There were 14 points possible, so make sure they write that score. The first thing we're going to do for today's lecture is actually a lab activity. This is going to require you to go out into the hallway so that you have enough space. Please be considerate of the other classes. Try to keep the noise level down so that we're not distracting other lessons. You do not need to do a lab report in your lab books. The write-up for this lab is all done in the blue note packet. So again, you do not need to do a lab report in your lab books. Just answer all of the questions in your blue notes packet. What's going to happen in this lab, you are going to cut a long piece of fishing line, and you want it to be pretty long in order to get good results. In order to do this lab, you're going to need at least 3 people, and so some of the lab groups may need to combine and work together in order to have enough people to do this lab. You're going to take the fishing line into the hall and stretch it between 2 group members so that it's pulled nice and tight. If the string is loose, this lab doesn't work well. Then what you need to do is thread a small piece of a drinking straw onto the fishing line. Blow up a balloon, and then tape the balloon to the straw. Now, in this picture, the balloon has been tied off, but it's important, when you do this lab, you will not be tying the balloon. So at no point should you actually tie off the mouth of the balloon. The reason why is because what happens next is we release the balloon and we let air pressure push the balloon forward along the string. You're going to be repeating this 4 times with different amounts of air and different amounts of mass. When the lab says to blow the balloon up halfway, it actually works best if you blow up the balloon as little as possible. So just barely blow up the balloon enough that the plastic starts to stretch, and that's enough. Also, when you tape masses to the balloon, be careful as you put the tape on and off that you don't accidentally tear a hole in the balloon plastic, because we do have a limited number of balloons, and so you cannot get a new balloon for each demo. If you are the sub, they should be ready now to do the lab activity. All of the equipment is on the front table. And after they have finished the lab and had time to answer all of the questions, you can then continue with the next video.